Hello everyone, welcome to the fish room. Today it's Friday, it's going to be the weekend. I don't work till later in the day. I got an hour or two to kind of kill some time. Figure I'd show you what I'm doing in the fish room. A few changes I'm making and I'm starting to make, just little things, moving fish and things like that. So I'm going to show you that, and then I'm going to jump forward and show you what everything looks like when it's done. Quick look at the tanks if you're not familiar with the channel. I got all my racks over here with my custom stand, and I'm moving. I have some angelfish in this bucket here. They came from over here in the bottom 55. I took them out before the water change because they're going to a tank that had a water change yesterday. So they're getting their water change, but they're not getting moved around too much. So I cleaned up some of the debris on the bottom. I'm going to move female guppies in there for sale. And then this tank, I only have a few guppies left. Kind of some babies and some juveniles, things like that. So this is going to become a male tank. I'll take out any females. Some males over here, females over there. Up here I just added, I had 3 different tanks of germ blue rams growing out, and they're all getting overgrown to their tanks, so I moved them all in the other night. If you check out my last video, I'm going to edit that actually probably today, so I might be a day behind on these uploads. But you can see kind of the germ blue rams growing from babies to adults, and I feed these guys. This tank is just full of rams. It looks really nice. I'm enjoying the tank right now. They're sellable size, ready to go to stores and make some future pairs for more breeding in the future. But there's probably over 100 rams in this tank in this 55 gallon. Another cool thing over here I have are these angelfish. So these are eggs, and if you look close at the slate, there are no longer eggs on it. So if you watched the other video with breeding angelfish and pulling the eggs, I showed that. That was probably 2 days ago. So I haven't even pulled the slate out, so let's pull it out together and see what the babies look like, if they're just sitting on the bottom or if they've hatched and they're wigglers. Let's go ahead and look at that. So just pull the air stone out. I'll take the slate, I'll give it a little swish around, see what we got going on in this container. And I'm gonna look by myself. So it looks like they're just starting to hatch. They're not quite wigglers yet, but I can see the eggs that are fungus and that are not. You can see them kind of swirling around at the bottom. So they're forming a little bit. I almost can see a little bit of movement in them, but they're still just eggs. Some of them I can see eyes starting to form, but they're not quite black and like pinned out. But that's pretty cool. A little update on those. I'll remove the slate, add the air stone. I'll probably put it halfway in the container so they're not getting tumbled too fast. We're still getting a lot of surface agitation, and another day or two those guys will be hatching out. So what else is new? My rams are still doing well. I'm about to move these younger rams into some open tanks that I freed up. I'll show where they go. I did some water changes. That's just dirty water. I siphon out these every day or two, give them a water change. Up here in the 40-gallon tank, I have some red Delta guppies. So these are actually all going to come out, and I'm going to split them up into the male and female guppy tanks. Any of the fry, you can see them. This is usually the worst glare of all my tanks. Those fry I'm moving to smaller tanks to grow out so I can sex them. But the angelfish will go in there. And like I said, they were on that bottom tank. So they were a little bit colder because the room's heated. So I elevated them up just in the room on a chair, so that way they're gonna get a little bit warmer and give me some time to catch the guppies out. But I think I have 8 medium size or 6, what do we got? Yeah, 8 angelfish. So some platinum, some marbles, some commons, things like that. But their fins look really healthy and nice, so I'm gonna put them up there, keep at least 2 or 3 of them, breed them in the future, but I'm gonna wait till they pair off. 6 to 8 is a really good number to grow out angelfish and let them pair up and get future pairs. So they're going to go up there, have a little bit more space for themselves, less plecos in the bottom of the tank, so the tank will stay cleaner. Just kind of jump around doing some updates. These calico and red plecos are growing well, getting a little bit more size to them. This tank is all freed up. That's where some of those germ blue rams were with the mat and filter. So I might put the next generation of rams in there. These angelfish just spawned the other day. They're the parents to those eggs that are hatching out. So excited to see what they look like. And they're kind of common, I mean, but they have a little bit of marbling. They're really hardy. I like this strain. So healthy angelfish are more important than colorful angelfish to me. And if you can do both, more power to you, that's awesome. Over here, I took half the rams out, added to the 55. I still left some, gave them a small water change today. These males are looking nice. And the long fin bristlenose plecos are doing really well. They're almost all getting to a breeding size, especially that male. Looks like there might be a young female there, but they're getting some size. They're definitely sub-adults to adults now. These, I'm doing a different water change schedule also. So these tanks here, all these ones on the black iron stands, got water changes today and that 20-gallon ram tank, just because I want to keep the rams growing well and just keep that water nice and clear. Whenever you have plecos, it gets cloudy faster, so I want to kind of give them an extra one. But these tanks over here got water changes a day or two ago, those 10s, 40s, and I think only these 420s. And then earlier that week I did these 3 across 20 gallons and the wall tank and the 20-gallon planted / moss shrimp tank. The way I'm doing that, I'll figure I'll show you. This is part of the fish room. I just did this the other day. This is cool. It's a sticker and it's a dry erase board. I got that as a gift. It's actually pretty cool. So I mapped out all my tanks. So there's this goes from the left side of the room all the way around to the wall tank. So starting from the left, I have the 55s, 10s, 55s, 29s, 40s, 10s, jumping across, 20s, wall tank, 20-gallon plant tank. So it kind of helped me keep on track, doing my water changes so I know how long it's been. I'll do a little arrow underneath pointing in. So these are Friday the 25th, Wednesday the 23rd, all the way to there, then Monday the 21st. So these guys are almost ready for another water change. And that way I'm kind of not killing myself doing water changes. I talked about that in my last video. I really want to enjoy the fish room and enjoy the fish. So by cutting that up into different days, not doing them all in one day, which I have done before, I did for probably a year or so, I'm starting to cut back a little bit. I want to enjoy my fish more. I want to not let my tanks get, I guess, overcrowded or just unorganized. I want to spend more time on sections of a tank. So I'll do the water changes and I'll only do it maybe an hour and 15, 20 minutes. So usually I can do everything in about 3 hours if I'm flying, but that's not me cleaning any filters. That's not me really looking at the fish much. So if I do like an hour and 15 minutes or so for sections of the tank, maybe a little bit longer, hour and a half, I'll do that 3 times. Throughout the week I'll get all my water changes done. And then I have time where I can go and I can clean the sponge filter. I can net out extra debris off the bottom. I can go through my guppy tanks and I can pull fry. So this is a complete fry tank. I can look at pregnant females. I can move them to drop tanks, let them drop their fry, take them back. Really just observe the tanks more. And that way I can get away from, I know I'm just jumping around the fish room, but like this tank here, totally kind of unorganized. It's a mess. I have guppies of all different sizes. I have breeders, I have juveniles, I have fry, I have newborn fry. So whenever it comes time to selling these fish, I can't just take a net full out. I got to go through and sort the fish, which is really time consuming, and you don't have a bunch of guppies of the same age. I'd rather have 40 guppies born, grow them up, sell them, do that all over again versus having 100 born, 40 eaten, 10 that are younger, 10 that are older, just a lot of different sizes. It's not as organized, you don't get as nice of fish. So I'm kind of cutting back on the number of fish I'm breeding, but I'm actually getting more success by doing that. So you have a higher survival rate and things are going well. But let's go ahead. I actually wrote down some notes on that dry erase board. I want to hit a few topics today and I still need to move the fish. So this is just the intro. I want to show you what it looks like when it's done. Hopefully I have time to video that. If not, I'm going to just do it and then I'll video it tonight and it'll all blend in together for you guys. But let's go ahead and look at that sheet and I'll kind of show you what my thought process is and how things are going. I'll do this kind of quick because I don't want to bore you guys, but this is kind of, you got to write stuff down. There's so much going on in life and in the fish room. If I don't write things down and I have more than 3 things to do, they're not all getting done. So I have a super red bristlenose pleco that's a little bit too small for his female. He's with a long fin common female pleco, and he's not breeding, he's kind of hiding from her, he's not guarding the cave, so I'm going to give him one of the blue-eye leucistic females that are a lot smaller of a strain. Let him try to breed with her, see what I get, because I don't have any more super red females for him to breed with. I want to move those angelfish like I talked about. I want to move the guppies to the 55-gallon tank. I have a little container of guppies in a hang-on, like on this, a little box filter on the side of the filters. They're starting to sex out males and females, so I want to separate the males and females to those new 55s. I have my F2 Fancy Guppy project. So I actually moved those fry down in this tank here. So I probably had 2 or 3 generations of fry, and this tank's kind of clouded from all the plecos. But I have definitely some males and females starting to sex out. So I wanted to get them out of the breeder tank. They were only in a 10-gallon tank. Let me show you those real quick. But this way I can grow them out. I'll have 2 generations here of 2 different ages. So it's not ideal, but it's definitely better than leaving them, letting these guys get mature and start to breed and not know what's what. Here's the actual breeding tank. It's just a 10-gallon, and I pretty much caught all those in a few sweeps because they always swarm right here. That's where I feed. And there's probably only 2 or 3 babies left. So I know there's one there, and there might be a couple smaller ones, but the parents are hiding somewhere. I think they're over by the sponge filter. I just did a water change on them today. Here they go. They're coming on out for us. And these guys are really cool. I've showed them before. Kind of my own project I'm working on. There's a nice Delta male. Sorry, this isn't the best quality. There they are. You can kind of see them there. There's the male. The females are nice. I've been working on them. I'm kind of creating a little fancy strain. So the females have a lot more color than normal. They carry it in their top fin. I'm trying to work it up their spine. But that's the breeder, so you know what they look like and what those babies should eventually look like. Back to our to-do list, the water change schedule. I wanted to show you that. So how I'm doing on the board, and I actually keep all of my hoses and stuff behind this. I have a furnace back here. So if you can see, I just got my hose wrapped up all nice, do my water changes, I pump it out, and I do that there, then I'll wrap it up, put it back, and it goes through that hole in the wall to my floor drain. And outside the room, I have a little sink here, and then I wrap up my Python hose and I hang it on the wall. So that's kind of how I'm doing my water changes right now. And then I have to dechlorinate as I go, and I use the Seacom Safe. I just pre-mix it, put in a little container, a little cup, and then I use this dropper. If I get 1 big scoop, it goes up to, I think it's 2 milliliters, and that does 10 gallons. So 1 big scoop goes up to that line, and that's 10 gallons of water, and that's how I'm dechlorinating as I go. I showed you the angelfish eggs hatching out, kind of hard to see, but that's one thing. Oh, that's one thing I forgot. So I'm cleaning out some of my acrylic yarn I keep in my tanks. Sorry, I was just reading that last thing. So I have a hang on I need to clean too, but I want to show you I'm cleaning out some buckets here that I got from my tanks. So here's my pleco tank. There's a lot of plecos in here. I put the lid in there so they can actually clean it off. It's kind of cloudy and a little bit dirty, so if I leave it in there for a few days, it gives them more surface area to kind of hang out on, and they'll sit on that lid and they'll clean it up for me. But there's a lot of debris on the bottom, and that was all hiding under these acrylic yarns. So I'm just cleaning them out in this bucket. I put them in here, filled up with the chlorinated water. I'm gonna wring them out real well, put them back in, or put them in a different tank. So I'm gonna keep the live bacteria alive. So it'll look something like this, and this one needs cleaned too. So just a big mess of acrylic yarn, but the baby's hiding in it. The plecos swim underneath it. Some malm builds up in there, and it's actually good for breeding fish. And it's just an extra filtration to the tank. But if it sits there too long, it's definitely gonna get too dirty, and you gotta just take it out and clean it, or pick it up, net underneath, or siphon underneath. So this one's getting real bad. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Also, this angel tank, that's gotta be guppies, had it too. So they're sitting in here, and I mean, all the debris kind of sits, it floats to the top from all the air bubbles whenever I put fresh water in there. But that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just wring it out real well. Probably do it in 2 different buckets with another fresh bucket of water, clean them up, put them back in the tank. So I'll put them in some guppy breeding tanks to keep the bacteria alive, and just keep these nice bare bottom for a sale tank. It's good to not have almost too much hiding places. Hopefully that all makes sense. I still need to go ahead and do that. I don't have a lot of time till I have to leave to go to work. I have to stop at the bank. I have to do some things on the way, run some errands. So I'm gonna do it real quick. When I come home from work, I'll most likely record where the fish went, what it looks like. So wait a few seconds, we'll go ahead, jump to that. But thanks for watching so far. Another day in the fish room, just sharing with you guys, jumping around, doing what I normally do. So let's go ahead and see what it looks like after I'm all done. So guys, got extremely lucky. I caught almost 90% of the guppies in this tank in one net, and I'm just gonna move them to the 155. I'm not gonna separate my section just yet, but there are a whole bunch of guppies in here. And I talked about before, I had 3 guppies left of this entire strain, and I put them in that 40-gallon tank, and they, over the period of months, repopulated into hundreds. So that's really cool. Don't ever give up on a strain. If you're losing fish, whatever's the healthiest, try to keep them alive and then breed those, and you're gonna make a stronger strain in the long run. So that's pretty cool. I got a lot of red guppies in here, and I'll probably go through and sort some of the smaller guys later, but I'll let them settle in the water for a few days. But those angelfish just really need to get out of the bucket and into that 40-gallon tank. I'm leaving a few guppies in there just because if the angels eat a few, it's not a big deal. But also want to kind of spread out my strain, so if I lose some from moving them, I'll still have some backups. But I'm gonna just dump these angelfish through a fine mesh net, and we're gonna just add them all in at once. Or maybe not, we'll see if they fit in the bucket. I got a lot of water here. 1 second. All right, here they go. We got 8 new angelfish going into the tank. And they should like it up here. There's not gonna be as much plecos in the bottom of the tank, creating a lot more waste from all the extra food I have to feed. And it's a little bit warmer being off the floor. They're around 74 degrees, thriving, doing well, but up here is around 80, 82 degrees, and they're really gonna enjoy that. By putting that bucket higher in the room, they got to around 78, 80 degrees over an hour or so. But now they're gonna be staying up there, not in the middle of the room as much, walking by as much traffic flow, and I think they're gonna do well. Just trying to move around, get a better shot of these guys, but I'll get a light above them and show you guys later. We're just fighting too much glare right now. If I turn this light off, it'll help a little, but it's gonna be dark. And I'm excited for these guys to start pairing off and maybe breed them in the next 3 months or so. So that'll be cool. And you can see all the baby guppies are coming out too. Maybe you can see. Fast forward to the next day, so it's Saturday now. I finished up, I had to go to work. I was kind of in a hurry towards the end. So let's look real quick at what's all going on, but I'm gonna wrap this up pretty short. Thanks for watching, guys, just another update. So just a quick look around. Down here in this bottom container, I had those guppies in there. I forget if I showed them or not, but I sorted them out, moved them to bigger tanks, males and females. I never got to move the one red pleco I wanted. The pair is still doing well. This empty 10-gallon tank, I moved in all those fry. So now I have 2 different containers of German blue rams mixed in here. There's some slightly larger ones, and most of them are about the same size. They're doing good. Starting to feed more crushed flake food, throwing some pellets in there so they can graze on that kind of stuff, and obviously brine shrimp. The angels are settling in nice. I did add some floating plants in there so the guppies can hide away. Any guppies that are in here are all hiding now. They probably ate some of them, but when you look in there, it looks like they're all gone. But I guarantee if I start moving stuff around, or at nighttime when the lights are off, they'll start coming back out. I did clean all those acrylic yarns, so it took a while. I rinsed them in the bucket they were. I got a fresh bucket of water, 2 buckets, and I wrung them through both. And now this is the 3rd bucket of the chlorinated water. They're just kind of hanging out there for a day or 2. The guppies that I showed, I did that yesterday, but I caught them out, got pretty lucky. I got most of them in one net. So they're all in here. I need to pull some males and move them over. I have some breeding groups still going, so I'm not going to breed any of these guys. They'll just go, they'll be on the website, or they'll sell those locally. And over here, these are some of those young males from that hang-on container. And it's kind of cool. I mean, this tank's huge, and they all kind of find each other and they school up. So, I mean, live bearers aren't a schooling fish, but they absolutely will swim together, especially when they're all siblings. They're the same age and the same color. They'll school up a lot more versus just throwing a bunch of colors together of unrelated fish. And that's about everything I can think of right now. The rams are still doing well. I'm really enjoying this tank until I start selling them, but that selling's still fun. So I clean this little hang-on box. Sometimes I'll put rams in there before I ship them, so I can still feed the tank, but I can fast the fish. So that's kind of a little idea I can do. Sometimes it's too stressful on them, so it's not great. Waiting for these half black females to drop some more fry. There are some babies in there, and I think only the one on the bottom one had some babies, and this one's looking real big, so hopefully they start breeding for me and having some more babies. Plecos are growing out. These guys never did breed, those angelfish, but they're still checking out that corner. Here's my little, he's cool, it's my little mascot. It's my balloon ram, and I actually produced him, so he's kind of like a runt, but he's cool. So I only have one ram in this tank. I meant to show him a while ago, but he was all scared and kind of washed out. He's showing a little bit of color, and he's just a little deformed, but he's pretty cool. I mean, that's what a balloon ram is. That's where it came from the German blue rams. They get these different body shapes, and they just breed them to each other until they get more of a short body ram. So he's pretty cool. He's always fun. So I've never shown him before. As more female guppies, but that's pretty much it for today. This was that lid that I put in there. Worked really well. Look how much cleaner it is. This half I didn't do, so I have to spin around and do it. But that air stone right here was starting to splash out a little bit, and I was getting some water on the floor, so I just put the lid right back on there. But look how much cleaner that looks. It looks brand new on this side. So that's a good tip with any type of lids. If you want to just put it in the aquarium, the water and the fish in there, especially if plecos, will clean that up in the matter of a day or two. So that's a pretty helpful tip. I learned that from someone else by watching other videos. But we'll wrap it up there, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Just jumping around the fish room. That's probably going to be the title of this video. I don't really know what to name it, so I don't want to be redundant and just keep saying fish room updates, but I think these are my most fun videos to make and share with people and enjoyable to watch. I mean, this kind of stuff I look for when I'm watching videos. I don't want to always watch videos on how to quarantine my fish and how to do medicine, what to feed. A lot of stuff that people kind of search and they do watch, but it gets a little boring after a while. So just looking at the fish, moving stuff around, being in the fish room, all that other stuff, you're only doing it because you have fish and you enjoy them, and it's just a further part of the hobby. But looking at the fish is most important. So thanks again for watching, guys. Don't forget to go below, like the video if you liked it. Please subscribe to the channel. It does help me out. So the more you guys subscribe, the more it kind of entices me to make more videos. I'll be doing this stuff regardless, but it does take some time out of my day to make videos. So if you like this kind of stuff, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I upload a video. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a great weekend.